Nice. Welcome to today's lesson on the impacts and responses of earthquakes. We'll be looking at what an earthquake is and give some impacts and responses. Let's begin today's lesson. Earthquakes are caused by the tension that builds up at all plate margins. The plates eventually jerk, send out shock waves, also known as sine waves, and these vibrations are an earthquake. You feel them on the Earth's surface. The shock waves spread out from the focus, the point in the Earth where the earthquake starts, which we can see here. The waves are stronger in the focus and can cause more damage. The epicenter point on the Earth's surface straight above the focus. You can see on the diagram here. Earthquakes are measured using magnitude, and it's a logarithmic scale. So, for example, a magnitude 7 is 10 times stronger than a magnitude 6. The Richter scale is a scale measuring the earthquake, and a seismometer is the instrument to measure that earthquake. For task 2, it's asking you to rearrange the statements. On the slide, you can see a convection current diagram. The center of the Earth is approximately 6,000 degrees. This causes material in the mantle to rise. The material rises and gets further from the core. It cools and starts to descend. Now, it's these convection currents cause the plates to move. Now, plates slide past each other and move in the same direction, but at different speeds. As they do so, tremendous stress builds up, and this stress eventually is released in the form of an earthquake. For task 3, we've got 2 questions that you need to answer. Now, if we look at the diagram, it shows the epicenter, the focus, and lines that are near a forest and a town. Question number 1 asks you, where would the earthquake felt more strongly, a forest or a town? Now, if you think back to the previous slide, it said that the closer you are to the epicenter, or the focus, the stronger you'll feel the earthquake. For question 2, the depth of the focus varies, and explain how the effects of the earthquake will be different if the focus was deeper in the crust. Now, if the focus is deeper, the seismic waves have more rock and material to travel through, and a lot of energy is lost. Whereas if the focus is closer to the Earth's surface, the earthquake will be stronger because less energy is lost. For task 4, you're required to watch a video and make a 6-point list from the video. For task 5, I'm asking you to use BBC Backside website, the link on this PowerPoint, to explain factors connect to the impact of earthquakes. So, for example, the size of the earthquake. If you have a magnitude 9 earthquake, it's going to be a lot stronger than a weaker earthquake at magnitude 4, and therefore you're going to see more impacts. And for example, population density. If your earthquake hits a city where you've got millions of people living there, the chances are your death toll is going to be higher because there are more people to be impacted by that earthquake. If you compare that to when that happens in a more remote place where there are less people, the chances are the death toll will be lower because there's people to be impacted that earth. For task 6, we're asking you to colour code the primary impacts. So when earthquakes occur, we know that they cause impacts. Now, some impacts occur straight away, which is a primary impact, and some happen primary impacts occur later on. And these are known as secondary impacts. So on your worksheet, you have got an array of impacts going from building homes to water pipes being broken to people homeless. So your task is to colour code the primary and secondary impacts. So for example, you have got buildings collapse. Now these will happen immediately after the earthquake or during the earthquake, and therefore it will be a primary impact. Now we've got people become homeless. Now this is because of their homes or buildings collapse that they have become homeless. Therefore is a secondary impact. The final task looks at responses. Now, some effects of earthquakes have to be dealt with to stop further loss of life, injuries, or damage to property, and others are dealt with longer term. Now, short-term or immediate responses happen within a day or a couple of days or weeks immediately after the disaster. So short responses may involve search and rescue and help in the injured. Long-term responses go on for years after a disaster and also rebuild damaged homes, schools, and hospitals. It can also involve kickstarting the local economy. This can be done by promoting tourism in that area. So your task is to colour code the responses into short and long-term responses. Thank you.